What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to G Myers World Podcast. Today we're going to be taking a look at Week 6 in the NFL 2022 season. There's a lot of crazy things going on, but I got to be totally honest. I don't really know how some teams are winning, and you guys know the teams, but I'm going to have to go ahead and just be like, you know what? I got to suck it up, bro, and just say, you know what? You guys are doing what you have to do. We're talking about the Giants and the Jets. Like, how are they winning? We don't know. The world will never know, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get started with the Falcons and the Niners, right? So Mariota somehow ended up with 3 touchdowns in a win against the Niners, right? So against the 49ers, usually we view the 49ers as a really good defensive team. I don't know what was going on yesterday, but it just wasn't what we expected. Garoppolo, 296 yards, 2 touchdowns, not that bad. Brandon Ayuk, 8 receptions, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. They just couldn't really get it going. In the second quarter, they were able to put up 14 points, but it wasn't that type of game. It just seemed weird, because the Falcons jumped out to that 14-0 lead, and then it was like, are they really going to beat the Niners? But then we don't really know what the Niners are. Trey Lance is hurt. Like, the whole season seems to be like, it's like deja vu. Garoppolo being a quarterback, we don't really know if he's good. We don't know if he's bad. Like, it's weird, but he's decent, maybe, because he made it to the Super Bowl. I don't know what's going to happen with that team, but it doesn't really matter. The Falcons look pretty good, and when I saw, Kyle Pitts score late in the game, I figured, like, okay, so this team is really starting to understand that they can do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can win. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Matt Ryan, a.k.a. Matty Dry Ice, is no longer there. Although, he was able to pull out a win, yesterday. He's just, I don't know what he's doing. And congratulations to him, by the way, for passing. Dan Marino with the passing yards. But like I said, we'll get to Matty Ice in a second. Like, that dude right there, no thank you. But the Falcons, they did a good job taking care of the Niners, bro. That's all I'm going to say about that. The Patriots completely dominated the Browns with Zappy, bro. Yo, Zappy, I think Zappy is better than Mac Jones. A lot of people were laughing at me when I said that. I just don't, it's something about Zappy, bro. Like, the dude, like, he don't really show you that he got swag, but he does, though. Like, it's weird. And I don't know what was going on, but this guy's coming in, 24, 34, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he just seems to be very calm with the offense. When you look at a player, and a lot of people will say, you know what, Matt Jones doesn't have a lot to work with, whatever. We can tell you guys that Stevenson did have 2 touchdowns on the ground, 19 carries, and that definitely helps, a quarterback when you have a good running game. But it was something about Zappy, bro. I just look at the way the team responds to the player that's out there. The O-line just blocks a little better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just weird, like, watching it. And I'm happy for him, bro. I'm always happy to see a young man go out there and, show that they have some type of reasoning for being a backup to begin with, and not just a guy that just is back there just to be terrible. You know what I'm saying? So the Browns are in trouble, though, because they can't do anything. They kind of suck, bro. And then Deshaun Watson, the only thing that he's doing is getting more cases against him. We got to see what happens when he comes back, because he better be worth the price of admission with all the stuff that they invested with him. I think they may be able to still possibly do something if he gets back, and they're formidable, but they're losing games that they should have won. And that's what's causing the problems with the Browns right now. The Jets and the Packers, I got to tell you right up, bro. Like, yo, straight out, Aaron Rodgers, you suck, dude. Like, all this stuff about this MVP stuff, we can say this, right? It's safe to say he's not going to win the MVP this year. That we are pretty good and safe to say. 26 of 41, 246 yards, 1 touchdown. Breece Hall looks like he's about to come into his own. 20 carries, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. The Jets look very, very dominant. Okay, scoop and block punts, doing all kind of weird stuff. Like, I gotta tell you right now, bro. What is it? Salah? I think it's Saleh, right? The coach of the Jets. The dude was talking about he was writing down names of dudes that was disrespecting his team, and I was laughing about it. Like, yo, you can write down whatever you want. You suck. And then now he's winning. Now he's 4-2. I'm like, what? Like, what's going on right now, dude? You listen to him talk, and he's so confident. But this is the thing: when the team believes you, that's when you're dangerous. Like, he could say whatever he wants, but when the team is like, yo, we not garbage, and he's like, no. He's like, oh, okay. That seems like what's going on. Like, they're figuring that the team, like the NFL, is sweet right now, and they're just here to do whatever they want. That's what's happening. That's what we're witnessing right now. And it's really, really weird. But the Packers are not good, and we all know that. So let's not get too excited about that. The Jags and the Colts. Now, this was a game that the Jags had in the bag, I believe, throughout the entirety of the game, and then they just gave it back. And the Colts were able to come back late in the game and win it. And, to Pierce, rookie, he's able to get the dot, and it is what it is. Pittman Jr. wasn't bad either. No touchdowns, but 134 yards. Matt Ryan, 42 of 58. He threw the ball 58 times. 389 yards, 3 touchdowns. He passed, I believe, Dan Marino. During the broadcast, they brought it up. It's amazing, though, because I think you got to put him in the Hall of Fame. He does have an MVP. He did lose with one of the most ridiculous comebacks in the Super Bowl ever. I don't know. I would say that he has to go to the Hall of Fame. I would just based on the numbers and doing that, even though right now, modernized, we are a passing league. And back when Dan Marino did it was more running and it wasn't as much passing. So he's more credible for that time. I would still have to say that Matt Ryan would have to go to the Hall of Fame. I think he would be one of the trash quarterbacks there, but he's done a lot. And he deserves that recognition, in my opinion. The Vikings and the Dolphins, this one right here was a very, very disappointing loss for the Dolphins, in my opinion, because they had so many chances. But again, when Teddy Tapwater is your quarterback, you're not going to win, bro. And I know a lot of you guys, like when I said, Teddy Tapwater is going to, not be able to do anything for the team, I'm just going based on what I've seen him do from team to team. And a lot of teams have given him chances, and he's just not that guy, bro. Like, you guys can say what you want, but it's certain players that get chances, and he's one of those, like, very, very fortunate quarterbacks that have been able to be a journeyman and be all over the place and still not be good. And he's gotten away with it. And at some point, you guys got to understand what I'm saying. He can throw the ball, he can do certain things, he can run. He just doesn't have that it factor, bro, to make sure, like, to come in and do the right thing in most cases. He just doesn't have, bro, it's something about him. And I just knew they were going to lose. So I always bet against the Dolphins since Tua's been out, because even though Tua doesn't have the biggest arm, he likes to go out there and say he has a, injured ankle, but it's his brain because he had a concussion. Like, it's a lot going on. He did enough to be able to win and start off, when they were undefeated, like 3-0, 4-0, whatever they were doing. They started off better because he's just able to do certain things in certain situations that I believe that Bridgewater can't do. And that's the determining factor. So I don't really see the Dolphins winning right now as long as Bridgewater is under center. But kudos to the Vikings. Great way to make a comeback and win that game. Tight-knit. And, it is what it is. They came back and they won it. It is what it is, bro. The Bengals and the Saints was also a really good one because I had no idea that, they were going to... I thought the Saints were going to win this game. I honestly did. I don't know why I did, but I thought they were going to win the game. The Bengals came back at the end, made sure that they got it. But it was like first quarter, 7 points. Second quarter, 7 points. Third quarter, 7 points. Fourth quarter, 9 points. It was a real weird game. And the Saints right now, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I have to wait to see what happens, down the line. Andy Dalton just ain't him. As much as I'm saying that, neither was Jameis Winston, but they're all over the place. We don't know what's going on. But Jamar Chase stepped up big. He made some really clutch catches. One of the touchdowns, his second touchdown was what, I think the dude was just all over him. I think that was the second touchdown, bro. And the dude he just caught that ball in such tight coverage. He's pretty good, bro. You gotta give Chase his credit. Burrow, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Can't really, you can't really knock that. But they did start off slow. We have to see how it works out in the end. The Giants and the Ravens, a lot of people are going to blame Lamar for his late interception, and rightfully so. Okay, because if you're gonna say that you like me, I think he should be paid. I think you definitely should pay him. You're gonna have bad games, but it's starting to be a reoccurring theme where there's a chance for them to win the game and he's making really bad decisions at the end. I still think you should pay him. The Giants just played like they're playing out of their minds. And I would never in my life have bet the Giants to beat the Ravens. I don't care if the Giants are at home, they on space. Look, bro, they're in space, dude, whatever. But they won it. Late bad decision by Lamar. Saquon runs it in for 6. GG's in the chat. That's it. The Ravens seems to be struggling with a lot of decision making, late in games. We have to see. Lamar has to do a better job of not throwing the ball to the other team late in games. The Buccaneers and the Steelers. Tom Brady, bro, listen, you should have retired, man. You should have just left well enough alone. Because at this point right now, I don't know what to do. I have to tell you, bro. Like, I know that Devin Bush bats away the tying 2-point conversion, and it could have been tied, and they could have went ahead and did whatever and probably possibly won the game. But you're over there on the sideline raging at your teammates, Tom. You probably should have retired, bro. Because the way that it is, it's no way that you're going to the Super Bowl. So in my opinion, if there's not a chance to go to the Super Bowl, it's a wasted season. And that's what I'm seeing. It is no way possible that the Buccaneers go to the Super Bowl because all the other teams are just better than them this year. It's not the same story. And I think adding this part onto it, it just hurts everything that he was trying to do. And then now it interferes with things off the field. So I just think it was a bad decision. It is what it is. We make mistakes, but we got to be able to understand. It's nothing else that Tom can do that can say, all right, there's somebody else that's the best quarterback of all time. You know what I'm saying? So I think he should have just left well enough alone, in my opinion. If it's not worth the win, it's not worth anything, bro. And the Steelers came up with a big win. I don't think they're good, but they came up with a big win. I got nothing to say about that. You know what I'm saying? They bring Trubisky back in after the other dude, Pickett Pickett? He gets hurt, whatever. Bro, this dude comes in and finishes them off. It is what it is, bro. You know, it was meant for them to lose that game, and it is what it is. But I think it was, now we're looking at it, it's like hindsight 2020. Tom, you probably should have stayed home. Panthers and the Rams, let's go Rams. You know what I'm saying, bro? I had that bet, and you guys came up big for me, and I appreciate you. I know it was a huge spread, like 10 points, and the Rams finally, in the second half, woke up and did what they had to do. The Panthers are not a good football team. We know that. Robbie Anderson should probably be released by today after his behavior on the sideline and being thrown out of the game. But other than that, there's nothing to really talk about. The Rams are a better team. They should have dominated the Panthers. Jumping into the Seahawks and the Cardinals, Kyler Murray is a terrible quarterback. Listen to the stat line right here, right? Other than the rushing 10 carries for 100 yards, 23 of 37, 222 yards, 1 interception. How do you have a stat line like that, bro? And then you're going home and playing Call of Duty. I'm going to tell you this right now. They got to figure something out with this Cardinals football team because Geno Smith is out here leading this team to 3-3, and then we're looking over at the Broncos, who's going to be playing later, and they suck. And then, I got to figure out what's going on. Is Geno Smith really a decent quarterback, bro? Like, this season has really been crazy to me, and I don't understand what's going on. Either way, Kyler Murray got to step it up, or that team, like, whatever, bro. Cardinals just looking real bad. Bills and the Chiefs. The Bills won this game because Josh Allen has 99 hurdle, and he will jump over anyone on the team, bro. He is such a different quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Patrick Mahomes' pick at the end of the game was completely unlike Pat Mahomes. He doesn't usually do that. He's usually a little bit more clutch. It happened, but this game was the best. The next game will be the best game, the Cowboys and the Eagles, I think, for the night. But this was a really exciting game. Stephon Diggs is really, really good. 10 receptions, 148 yards, 1 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes is really, really good as well. That interception just killed the game. And Josh Allen is showing us if they continue to play like this, even with that one loss, they're 5-1 right now. They shouldn't be 5-1. They should actually be 6-0. But he's still probably going to be the MVP. Although Jalen Hurts showed me something last night we got to talk about. But I believe Josh Allen, with the way he finished this game off, is just unbelievable. I've never seen a quarterback hurdling dudes. I've seen him, run around like Vic, juke dudes, do whatever, Pat Mahomes, do miraculous spin arounds, throw the ball like he played in the backyard. But Josh Allen's just different, bro. That man is different. I think he's probably the best choice for MVP so far this season. He and Jalen Hurts. But let's jump into that final game. I'm going to tell you right now, the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. And not only because of the record, but because of what they were able to accomplish. Let me just explain what happened, right? The Cowboys are riding high. But they got like a number 3 pass scoring defense. You got all Micah Parsons, all these dudes running their mouth, doing all this stuff, right? Talking about how dominant they are, DeMarcus Lawrence. And they just go out there. And not only do they start the game off 20-zip, bro, but as the Cowboys try to come back, they just do what's necessary. Although they only scored 6 points in the fourth after scoring 20 in the second quarter, just the way they played, they were just overly dominant. And they did just enough to make Cooper Rush look like an ordinary guy. Now, I got news for you. Even if Dak Prescott plays in that game, the Eagles still win. I don't care what anyone says. The Eagles actually impressed me, and I don't really care for the Eagles at all. But just watching them play defensively and the way that they were together and the calmness of Jalen Hurts, although his numbers weren't crazy, he led that team and made plays when they did all-out blitzes. They changed things up. He outran the defense. Whatever it was, he made the play. That is very, very impressive, bro. You know what I'm saying? To just make every right play, whether it's coverage, whether it's blitz. He just played very, very well. And I think that that's dangerous because his composure is a lot like when I first saw him, that wasn't him before last year. He's a whole different guy. As far as the Cowboys go, when Dak Prescott comes back, there's nothing spectacular because he's just the guy, in my opinion. Dak Prescott is not what everybody thinks he is. Is he better than Cooper Rush? Okay, maybe. Dude, I don't know. They both, like, whatever. Cooper Rush was out there just doing whatever he wanted. Under pressure throws for picks. He had 2 last night. 18 of 38, 181, and a touchdown. But I don't really see why the Cowboy fans are excited about Dak coming back. What was Dak doing that was so much different than Cooper Rush? Like, I don't get it. But you know, maybe you guys are going to be able to show it to me like, yo, G, look at that. Look at this. Honestly, I think in the system, Cooper Rush played very, very well in the system that they had. But the Eagles defense, they had 3 interceptions. You know, so I just talked about the 2, but they had 3 total. And they stayed undefeated. And this Cowboys team, I thought that they would be getting turnovers. They would be forcing things. But the Eagles are different, bro. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, they just know how to win. And there's no real crazy stat line. Bradbury played very, very well. Slay had a pick. Like, they know what they're doing. And the dude that just got from the Saints, I forgot his name too. He had another pick. Yeah, so it was 3 that Cooper Rush threw. But the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. And I just say that because it's not about what they show up on the stat line each game. It's about how they come together to just win. And that's what was very, very impressive for me, in my opinion. And again, it's making me sick having to talk positive about the Eagles, but it is what it is. They went out there and they handled their business. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. Hopefully you're having a blessed day. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.